Okay. So we have got a quadratic inequality on the board. What is the question that I'm asking here?
Is the roots of x bigger than 0?
Okay, not necessarily the roots of x, but definitely where is this equation? Where is this quadratic equation greater than 0? Okay. Now, if you think about this graph, if I ask you the question plot y equals x squared minus 7x minus 18, okay, what am I asking if it's greater than 0? Where is it above the axis? Okay, where is it above the x-axis? So greater than 0 means where is it above the x-axis? Okay, so in order to find that, I need to find the point where it goes from above to below the axis. In other words, where does it cross the axis? So in order to do that, I need to find the x-intercepts or the roots. Fantastic. Now, Ahmed, how do I find the roots of any quadratic?
3 ways, 2 ways?
Yeah, good, but what do I need to have it equal to?
0.
0. So let's set it equal to 0. Okay. Well, if I set it equal to 0, you're dead right. There's about 2 or 3 ways that I could solve this. Factorise, quadratic formula, or you could complete the square, but quadratic formula completing the square is the same thing. So what do you reckon we're going to try first?
X negative. It's easy. It's x negative 9 plus times x plus 1 plus 2.
Good. Okay. Always try factorising first, because factorising takes about like that. Okay. Whereas quadratic formula, you've got to work out what a is, what b is, what c is, stick it in the formula, then do a bit of simplification, then stick it in the calculator, then convert it. It takes longer. Okay. So always try factorising first. Spend about 20 seconds looking at it. If you can't see it, then go for the formula, because the formula will always work. Okay. Good. So what are my 2 roots? Perfect. So now I need to draw it. Now I don't need to do a very good job of this. I just need to get the overall idea. You're happy, first of all, it's a positive x squared. Okay, so it's a happy face. Now if I draw my axis in, like so, where would 9 and where would negative 2 be? Perfect. Now you're happy, in this case, I don't actually need to bother about drawing in the y-axis, because I don't care about the y-axis, right? I just care about this, because anything above this is above the x-axis, anything below this is below the x-axis. So what question am I asking? I want to know where it's above the x-axis. So what values of x correspond to regions above the x-axis? Are you happy? So I want everything over here and everything over here. Okay? And you're happy everything over there would just be x being bigger than 9. Everything over there would be everything smaller than negative 2. So any x value which is smaller than negative 2, if I stick it into this equation, it will always hold. It will always be bigger than 0. Any value which is bigger than 9, which when I stick it in here, it will always be bigger than 0. But any value between negative 2 and 9 will be negative. Or even 2 and 9, negative 2 and 9, that would be equal to 0. Okay. So you can almost come up with a formula for solving these types of equations, sort of a recipe if you like. What's the first step that we need to do to solve a quadratic inequality?
Make it equal to 0.
Good, so we need to find the roots. And we find the roots by setting it equal to 0. Good, what's the second thing that we do?
Solve it.
Yeah, good. So we solve it. Okay, what's the third thing that we do?
We plot it.
Yeah, plot it or sketch it. And then number 4, we find the regions. Okay, so we find the regions of interest. Are there any questions about that? Okay, so definitely have a look at those. I guess we could almost like put in a step 0 if we like. We were lucky in this stage, this question, but maybe if you have a look at part 4, which is the bottom question on the screen. Okay. Now, what would we have to do there before we could go ahead and do these 4 steps?
Which question?
Question 4, the last question.
We're going to have to move the 6 to the other side?
Yeah, so first things first, you need to make sure there's a 0 on this side of the inequality. Okay, so I'll just write 0, but effectively what I'm saying there is it needs to be either greater than 0, less than 0, greater than or equal to 0, less than or equal to 0 in order to solve this.